Hello, and welcome to another episode of Early AM Art. Today's episode is all about stencils and sprays. As usual, I'm starting out with a piece of cardboard packaging, and I'm applying a very thin layer of modeling paste onto my first stencil. I'm applying such a thin layer because I know I'm going to use another stencil that will cover a large portion. I use homemade modeling paste, which is already fairly dry, so it doesn't take much additional drying. As you can see, this layer is much thicker. I really wanted to experiment with textures, so that's why I used two different stencils and layered the amount of modeling paste I used on each one. Now I'm going to give it a good coat of white gesso. I'm using heavy gesso. Since modeling paste has dimension, it takes a little while to get around all sides and to make sure it's all covered well. Knowing that I'm going to be using ink and acrylic sprays, modeling paste really absorbs the color. Gesso absorbs the color as well, but not quite to the extent that the modeling paste does. Now I noticed that bottom area didn't get much stenciling, so I thought I would try to add some. It turned out not to be so pleased with what I had done. It didn't really match, so I just kind of scrape over it and make sure it has just a nice solid layer of gesso. I add a little bit of texture with the end of my applicator, but it's mostly just gesso. I give that a quick dry and get right into my inks. As you can see, I put a little bit using the tube and then add water to help it move throughout my stencil. Started with a green and then added a blue. But don't worry, check the description box below and I'll include specific details about all the products that I use. I give that layer a dry, and then I continue to fill in and add color to my piece. I decided that the color was really bold, so I know you're probably thinking, well then why are you adding more? But about this time I had an idea. So I'm going to be adding more color and then adding water, and then you'll see what I do next. giving it a good spray, and there you go. I wanted to remove some of the color. And as you can see, I've got a duplicate of what I have on my regular piece. I'm going to save that paper towel and probably use it in another project some other time. But as I was looking, one, it removed a little more of the color than I wanted, and two, it didn't remove it evenly. So as you can see, the blue and the green are still very prominent. Well, the yellow is too, actually. But almost all of the color in the middle has been removed. So my goal at this point is to achieve a better balance throughout the piece. So I'm going to continue to add and remove color until I'm able to achieve that balance. I noticed that there were some spots there, and I thought I would see if I couldn't loosen them up and get the color to disperse, but I don't know if they were already just too dried on or what, but I was not able to remove them. Now, I would not be myself if I didn't add some earth tone in here. So that's what I'm doing now. At first I was going to grab the black, but I thought that might be too harsh, so I opted for a brown. I believe this is Walnut, but again, check the description box. I'll have all of the items identified below. Well, I liked adding the earth tone. I didn't really want my flower to be earth tone, so here I'm going back and adding a little more color. That's just the way it is. A lot of times you add and then you remove, and then you add and then you remove. You really just kind of keep going back and forth until you get the desired look or desired effect that you want for what you're working on. A lot of the sprays I'm using have a shimmer to them, and unfortunately that just doesn't translate well in the video. It's such a shame because the piece came out so much better than it looks on the video and on the pictures that I attached. A little better in the pictures, but it still doesn't really capture the beauty of the piece. That's pretty much it for this one. Please leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you've not done so already. I appreciate you joining me, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time, and bye for now.